Morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. My main question is, how did I miss Dr. Jackie's husband having an affair on the blogs and in the little gossip things? I don't follow anybody. I guess that's how I missed it, because I'm just like, what in the world is going on Married to Medicine? And this is really, really traumatic. So what happens with Dr. Jackie? Us seeing that Curtis was caught having an affair, and it was kind of published. And what closes basically with Dr. Jackie saying that she does have options, but she is hurt and humiliated, and she just taking it minute by minute in terms of whether she's staying or going. Did you guess? Married to Medicine Season 5, Episode 1. And another thing is, I've been watching Married to Medicine since it started. When they get to Season 5? Y'all, the episode is called Waiting to Exhale. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to close. Let us proceed. So Dr. Jackie is having issues with her husband Curtis, which we knew from before. Every marriage has issues, but we didn't know it had gotten to this. And I guess my general perspective is, people do make mistakes. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We just aren't. And we all, you would like to think that you're going to make the best choices and the tough choices when the situation comes to it. But when the stuff hit the fan, you don't know what you're going to do until you do it. So I'm not mad at Curtis, but I do kind of feel like, looking at it from the outside looking in, if you got an issue with your wife, you need to resolve that issue with your wife, I think, before you start a whole nother relationship. But I know people aren't perfect, and we be out here doing the best we can. But I'm just like, and I'd have kept watching, but I want to catch some sunlight. Poor baby. Dr. Jackie and Curtis, y'all are in my thoughts and prayers. And all the relationships are strained. And I know I'm 2 minutes in, and I ain't hardly said nothing about the show. But I remember when my first divorce, and I've only been divorced once, but how upsetting it was to people around me. I think because I was part of, we got married. We were like the first in our set, our peer group or whatever, to get married. Or I was definitely the first in my peer group to get married. And I think that people sort of, even though I didn't know that people were invested in my marriage, people were invested in my marriage. And what I'm seeing with this is how invested, I guess, just because probably of Dr. Jackie's carriage, people are invested in her relationship in a certain way. Yeah, but people were invested that I didn't realize were invested. They were like upset and why not? And I'm kind of like, I'm the one getting divorced. Why are you up? But I didn't really understand how other people had, invested in the relationship. So anyway, so Toya basically feels that, Dr. Jackie's husband, Curtis, has betrayed the whole group. That Toya has a lot of feelings, because I forgot she said this. And Jackie is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. She's barren. She wanted it to go away, and she says she wanted it to not be true, but it's a true story. And we see her at the gym working out. She's boxing while she talks about her feelings and experiences. So we hear her, in the interview talking. But we see her at the gym working out. So I don't know where this I don't know where this light is coming from. Oh, it's not that mirror. Where is it coming from? Oh. Then we got Detroit Toya. That's my Detroit homegirl. And she is talking about how she's frugally fabulous. They have been able to pay off half of their debt. Yay, keep it up. Great work, mama. And he's working more shifts. And the shifts are further away. So that is a concern with her. And I think Toya is like, it's easy for a man to forget that he's married, because Curtis did. And her husband is like, you too loud for me to forget. And we find out they're only having sex twice a month. And so he's like, hey, it's grind time, and not that kind of grind time. Either we gonna be out of debt or we gonna have sex. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Either we gonna get out of debt, or we gonna have sex. And you know, it's just not that kind of grinding that we're doing right now, which was kind of funny. But it's just kind of like, it's interesting because, you know, trust is a really interesting thing. And it's kind of like, you know, you can feel like things are going one way and things are oh boy, you know, it's just like trust it's a delicate thing. You know, trusting somebody or not trusting somebody is delicate. This Bella, she the video vixen. Okay. So then we got Quad, and she got balloons blocking her rear view mirror, her rear view window, and she's putting oil in the car. And that's kind of, yeah, what's up with that? And then, so like, does she need an oil change? Is her car leaking oil? I mean, what exactly is going on? I was confused by that. And then Dr. G has his own practice, so she's coming in with the balloons and gifts and congratulations for the new spot. And Quad is like, you know, it takes a good woman to help a real man to recognize his power. And I agree with her 100%. Why did he have, you know, it's when you have the right chemistry and the right match, I think everybody makes everybody better. But I do think that a woman's energy is different from a man's energy. I think for the most part, men operate on a material plane most effectively, and women operate on a spiritual and emotional plane most effectively. Not all women, not all the time, but that's just my general thoughts. So, but anyway, and I don't understand why he had 10 days to get into his office, get his office space together. I don't know if he left his other job and then, you know, since he's paying rent on this, he gave himself 10 days to get it together or whatever before he could start making money in the place. So that's why it was only 10 days. Because I'm like, why would it only be 10 days? It looked good. It didn't look like it had just been thrown together from what I could see in the shots we had of his new office. But Quad got it together in 10 days. Dr. G hopes that Curtis, that's Dr. Jackie's husband, can get satisfaction. And I'm kind of like, and then me and Quad are both like, that's a poor choice of words. And then wait, Doc, he says, then the doctor goes on to say, Quad's husband says that he, as in Curtis, made a tremendous mistake cheating, and now it's up to her, as in Jackie, to fix it. And I'm kind of like, huh, what is he? I don't understand. I didn't understand. But it's obvious that this Curtis Jackie thing is a big deal, and it's like a bomb has been set off in the marriages and relationships of the people. Now I don't know if that's editing or if that's like, you know, when something like that happens in your circle, it does have an impact. So then we see Dr. Heavenly and her daughter Alora. Is that supposed to be some variation on Laura? And we find out that Alora is not on the honor roll, and Dr. Heavenly is like, well, I don't understand it. Every, you know, grade you show me is an A. And 11-year-old Alora is like, well, that's because I only show you the A's. So baby girl is a singer. We find out. I don't remember that from before. And Dr. Heavenly's oldest is an 18-year-old in college. He's in his first year of college. Come on, boo. He's in his first year of college. I don't even remember him from before. Has he been on the show? Did I just miss him? Okay. So, where am I at? So, then Dr. Hubby, we gonna call him Dr. Daddy because she called him Daddy. I don't know his name. So Dr. Daddy is like, you know, we are not bringing other folks' business, you know, into our marriage. That's their business. That's between Curtis and Jackie. We're not bringing that into our family. And Dr. Heavenly is like, why do I feel like it happened to me? And it's kind of like, wow, you know, and he's like, I would not tolerate you cheating on me, but Jackie should stay with Curtis because every divorce is a win for Satan. And then he says that men and women are different. And it's kind of weird because I just said that I think that men and women are different. And I do think that the way that we process cheating is different overall. And I don't know if that's societal or not, but I was kind of offended by that statement. Like, she should stay with him, but you would leave her because, you know, but anyway, this is like a really divisive issue, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's kind of like bringing up a lot of stuff for a lot of different people. Okay, so then we see we're at Dr. Simone's South house, so they still have the 2 houses. Her oldest son is going to Howard University. It wasn't clear to me if he wanted to be a doctor, but it seems clear that she wants him to be a doctor, and maybe his daddy wants him to be a doctor too, and maybe he does too. Dr. Simone stopped at the South house, ate, and then she ate and ran. She's on to the North house because she has a 6:45 a.m. C-section. So her husband is like, well, you need to just go on because you're scheduling all of these early appointments. So you need to go to the North house so you can, you know, be ready in the morning. Oh, I don't know how we're back to Alora, but Alora at 11 years old is already considering the University of Miami, Stanford, and UCLA as college choices. And I was just like, yes, I love to see a little girl who has a plan. Yes, baby girl. She working on her song. She finishing up her song. Then we see Toya and Quad meeting up for lunch, and they are both complimenting the bartender on his looks. So I was kind of like, okay. Is Quad's husband. Toya is kind of asserting that Quad's husband is punishing her for not having children by creating other work for her, like why he only gave her 10 days to get the office together or whatever. And Quad feels that her husband does not really help around the house enough. So I'm thinking, she like, how is it going to be if I have a baby? Am I going to just be, you know, the only sole parent? I have sole responsibility for the house. You know, like, how is that going to work? And then, you know, she feel like she got everything on her back already when it comes to the house. So how is it going to be otherwise? And then they end up arguing, Toya and Quad, about Jackie and Curtis. And Toya feels like Jackie didn't do enough in the marriage, and Quad feels like Jackie is a hardworking and ambitious woman and is basically being criticized for being hardworking and ambitious because she was a wife, because she's a wife. If she was a husband and she was hardworking and ambitious, nobody would expect her to be catering to her wife. If a man is hardworking and ambitious, people aren't like, oh, well, you should cater to your wife. If a woman is hardworking and ambitious, and people are like, you should cater to your husband. But again, you know, we started this conversation talking about how men and women are different. And, you know, I guess each individual person is different. And we've been socialized by society differently. So it's kind of like a complicated conversation to have, because I think it's just like with children. And you know, I think that you cater to the specific needs of your specific children. If you have one child who's into basketball and another child who's into painting, it's not like, well, everybody's going to play basketball and paint. No, you deal with the basketball for the one child and you deal with the painting for the other child. You have to customize it. And that's how marriages and relationships are, I think. You have to customize it to the needs of the people who are involved. So it's sort of hard to talk in generalities about, you know, men and women, is because it's specific to the men and the women who are in that particular relationship. But I understand what Quad was saying. She's saying, you know, Doc Jackie is a phenomenal woman, and you know, people are mad at her for, you know, not putting her career second to her husband. But if she were a phenomenal man, would people be mad at her for not putting her career second to his wife? You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so then we see Dr. Heavenly and Quad, and we learn about a waiting to exhale party for Dr. Jackie that Dr. Heavenly has planned. So Dr. Jackie, she's like, okay, I mean, can we please, shh, don't tell anybody, order some French fries? Yeah, eat some good wholesome foods. You can eat French fries on occasion. I know it's probably comfort food, but anyway, it's going to be in a hotel suite. It's catered food. The Dr. Heavenly has invited some men. She said that when the models arrive, and she have them taking their clothes off, and they really are treating those men like they're just hired help. It's really kind of like a little disorienting. Like, they are people, but you know, they're there to help by showing their body and rubbing on. I don't know. I was just kind of like, mung, 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 mung. It kind of freaked me out a little bit. And then Toya carries a lot of things in her purse. There's like a reference to last season when she had some Patron, because right now she got some massage oil in her purse, and they done had the men take off their shirts, and they putting lotion and oil on the men, and you know, So Dr. Jackie arrives, and I don't know if she's gonna be open to the strippers or not. But she is, she comes into the party, and one of the men carries her over to the table or to the couch, and then they're all surrounding her. One is supposed to wash her feet, rub her feet, massage her feet while she's eating her fries, and she looks a little uncomfortable. And so, they do end up sending the men away, which I think was good. I mean, you tried it, for somebody else, it might have been a good thing. She ends up crying. That's the thing. She ends up crying because she ain't probably ready for all of this right now. It's like strangers there. She might be cool with kind of, talking around her friends, but then it's kind of like a public thing. The camera, it's a lot going on. So, but she tried, bless her heart. Toya was saying that her husband Curtis was lonely. That's what Toya is saying to Jackie. And then Quad is saying, you end one thing before you start another thing. That's what I agree with. Then Dr. Jackie is saying she did not give Curtis permission to cheat outside of the marriage because she had said last season, she thinks that he should be happy. So, that means take care of your business here. If you're not happy, then move on. Don't be being married to me. But anyway, maybe that's what he thought being happy meant. I don't know. But she's saying she ain't give him permission to go outside of the marriage. And then Quad is like, when you're married to a doctor, you're going to be second. My husband puts his patients first. Everything else is secondary. Every single time he puts his patients first. And then Toya is like, I am not second. And then Quad is like, we have all wanted something in our marriages that we were not getting. It's not right to go outside of the marriage to get something. Just because we're not getting it inside the marriage, we got to deal with it inside the marriage. And then Toya is like, my job is to be my husband's everything. And then I'm like, girl, you can't be nobody's everything. You can't be hit. Girl, go sit down someplace, Detroit Toya. Go sit down now. But I understand you want to do what you can do, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't never be nobody's everything. Then Jackie in her interview is like, it is Toya's job to be her husband's everything, because everything that she has comes from her husband. And I was like, dang, her children, her money, her prestige. I don't know. I was kind of like, ooh, that was kind of okay. And then we see Quad. What Quad says, he's flaunting another woman and he's gone. If my husband was flaunting another woman, he's gone. And then Toya is like, it ain't that easy. I got two sons. It's not that easy for me to just go. And then Heavenly is like, well, if daddy cheated, he didn't mean to. It was that biatch. And I'm like, what is she talking about? And she had already said earlier that she know that he took vows with her, but if he stepped out, it would be the woman's fault. So I'm kind of like, cuckoo crazy. And I guess that's just emotions, and then that man would never hurt me like that on purpose. And it's kind of like, as you're listening to everybody and you're looking at Dr. Jackie, it's like the whole group is traumatized. They supposed to be there for Dr. Jackie, and they all like trying to process it and make sense of it and figure out what they would do in the situation and how it connects to them. It doesn't mean that their husband is cheating or, what's going on. It's like it's a source of stress for all of them. They traumatized. And they're all personalizing it to them. So they can't really be there for Jackie to support her. And then Heavenly is like, she got everybody fabulous 5 t-shirts with their names on it, and they take selfies. But that's after Dr. Jackie had said, I have options, and I am hurt. Because somebody said, well, are you going to stay or are you going to go? And she's like, I don't know. You ask me, in 5 minutes, I'll say one thing. In 20 minutes, I might say something different. But I do have options, and it's good to have options. But I am hurt and humiliated. And I'm just, doing this minute by minute and staying strong. So that's Married to Medicine. Woo! All right. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing. We're working on 200 subscribers. I'm working on finishing detangling my hair. We're working on 200 subscribers. So please, if you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. It's fun. It's me. Like, comments, share, all of that other good things. Today is the best day ever. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you.